According to the Father, the moment has come for you to take flight. You have accomplished things on your own, and you have looked for assistance but have not been able to locate any. Today, everything is different. On this day, the adversary who was responsible for your flight will be able to witness you standing in the power of my might, and he will be shaken. In the midst of conflict, I am your strength, declares God. Your hands will be taught to fight, and your words will be taught to conquer in my name, despite all the schemes that hell has devised especially for you. You have been the target of the adversary's covert surveillance, but I have revealed his hiding location. Despite the fact that he had predicted that you would be seized as a victim, he is now stuck in the trap that he had set for your feet. You are going to keep moving forward in my favor, but the feet of those who are looking for your soul are going to sink to the bottom of the pit until there is no more rising of them ever again in the entire world. The eyes that I see proclaim that God is there, and my eyelids examine the sons of man. In their hearts, they say that I am not paying attention to what is going on around you, but I am quick to provide and save, and I do all of that in a very short amount of time. Be not dismayed, however, as I am currently engaged in my task. Be not afraid, for I have arrived on the scene, and I will make sure that your deepest heart's desire and your most important dream come true in your life. This day, the crop of my blessing in your life is being ripened by the rains of my Spirit, which are helpful and useful. My countenance is upon you like the sun rising in the morning, bringing you more life and blessings than you could have ever imagined. But what about those who are wicked and their wickedness? Can you tell me about their intentions and what they want from you? It seems as if they are useless. They are a fraction of what they are. My heaviness, also known as my kabod glory, will rest upon you and bring you out of the thorny location and the tough situation into your land of promise even today. They are like the little dust that lies at the bottom of the balance, and they do not alter the scale at all. You have improved your hearing compared to how it was in the past, but it is not yet at its full potential, the Father says today. In order to distinguish between my speech and the cacophony of noises that are occurring in the spirit around you, I am providing you with the ability to do so. There is no need to pay attention to the voice of the past because you will not be traveling through this area again. Because you are a principality and a power, the voice of discord has nothing significant to take note of because you are unable to fail to show the Christ of God in your circumstance. It is not necessary to pay attention to the voice of complaint because I will fill your lips with blessings, praise, and gratitude. Take heed of my voice, for it is only my voice that speaks of the Father. I am the voice of many waters, which are drowning out the pollutants that are hollow and vain, as well as the strains of need, fear, uncertainty, and despair that are poisoning the environment. Because I am your joy, the Father assures you that you will not be discouraged. I am your provider, so you will not be lacking in anything. I will not cause you to be afraid since I am your sturdy castle. I will be there to raise you up so that you do not have to worry about smashing your foot against a stone. You will not have any doubts. The curtain is about to rise on the final act of your breakthrough, so rest confident, says the Father, and know that you are entering the final act. The Father has shown to me today that I am not a distant God. As a result of the difficulties you are experiencing, I am taking action to protect you. Pray with your mouth alone. Make your requests known, for the words that come out of your lips and the meditation that takes place in your heart will open the door for me to enter. I have come to knock on the door of your heart. Your trust has opened up to me and has given me the authority to take action. The pride of your persecutor will lead to them being captured and ensnared in the precise plot that they have developed within themselves to inflict you damage. I will remove them from your sight, and they will no longer be a source of trouble for you. They have stated that they will rule over you and force you to subjugate yourself to their will. The tongue that speaks vanity and the hands that work evil against you will be rebuked, and you will go free rejoicing in the deliverance that I have achieved on your behalf. I will do this for you. I have not forgotten you, the Father says, despite the fact that you have been waiting for a very long time. The arm of the godless is broken, and the harassment of the enemy is now gone from your land. I will arise and lift my hand, and by my power, I will sweep away those who are spiteful. This is because you have committed yourselves to my care, and you have said in your heart, "The Lord is my helper." You will search for those who despise you with great diligence, but you will be unable to locate them. To deliver and remove far away from you the caterpillar, the cankerworm, and the locust that have been causing you problems after problems for all of these years, I will work hard to complete the work that has to be done. Have you faith in me? Let me handle everything from here on out. You can now enter the rest of your life with the knowledge that it is not about your strength or its wisdom. You are unable to reason your way out of this predicament, and you are unable to make things better. Take your hands off of this long-standing, destructive issue in your life, and put your faith in me to settle it in an instant. It is today that I am returning you to a state of completeness of heart, declares the Father. In the past, your heart was broken and torn in many different directions. In this moment, all of that comes to an end. I am holding your heart in my hand and blowing upon it with my breath in the same way that a guy would blow upon a coal of fire. We are anticipating the return of your joy. Now that your delight has been returned. Hold on. Is it audible to you? In your heart, even at this very moment, the faint music of celebration is rising within you with the trumpets of praise, pushing out all of the depression, worry, and sadness that you have been experiencing. According to God, being sad is not your lot in life. I am the one who creates you, and each and every one of your days is recorded in my memory. Not a terrible cautionary tale of failure or disappointment, the epistle of your life is a success story, a romance, an epic of triumph and victory. It is not a story of failure or disappointment either. The presence of my presence causes your adversaries to be defeated and to perish. Your right and your case have been upheld by me, and from this point forward, the gavel will be lowered in your favor. The destructive forces that have been a part of your life have now reached an end that cannot be reversed. It is now that beauty has taken the place of ashes, and the spirit of sadness has been replaced with joy that is beyond description and filled with brightness. Say to yourself, now is the time when things start to get easier. When it comes to yoke easy and burden light, I am all about it. This is the declaration that should be made. What else could possibly go right? Because that is the threshold that you have traversed on this particular day. Put your faith in what the excellent report says, God. Ignore the negative and refuse to wallow in it. Make an effort to cooperate with me, and I will reward you with some change. I pray that the promise of my word will bring light into your eyes, and that the expectation of your heart will be elevated to the top, rather than down to the bottom. Those who hate will be despised themselves and perish, but those who believe wholeheartedly in the power of faith will inherit the country and split the spoils of the heathens for their own inheritance. I am bringing you out today, the Father says, because the excellence of my name is bringing you out. In order to receive the power that I have ordained for you, you should open your mouth as wide as a baby who is sucking breast milk. Your praise and acknowledgement of who I am and what I am doing in your life via the power of my word will put an end to the adversary and the vengeance that is directed against you. Never give yourself the impression that you are being ignored or ignored in any way. I keep you in my thoughts, and I come to greet you with my goodness each and every day. In the same way that I worked with Abraham in the past, I am constantly trying to bring you into success and advancement. Your testimony will be written on this day as follows: I have witnessed the hand of God come forth in my life, and I am delivered from the hands of the adversary. When they see the brilliance that I have placed in your heart, the angels hush and bend their heads in reverence. You are a sacred destination. Your spirit is the location where my voice begins and goes forth into all the earth to subdue the enemy before you. It is the place where deep calling, and deep calling occur. You are going to put your foot in the neck of the adversary, and you are going to walk in the dominion that I ordained for you before the earth was even created. It is important that you come to the realization that you are not a pauper, and that you are not being ignored or trampled over by the adversary. Despite the fact that you were created with a lower status than the angels, I have bestowed upon you the splendor and honor as a crown. Take a walk in appreciation of it today. To ensure that you are able to reign in Christ on this side of your mortality and not on the other side, I have given you dominion over all the works that I have created, and I have placed everything beneath your feet. Recognize that the beginning of ruling and reigning begins right now, if you are able to take now as an answer. Take this into consideration, believe it, and recognize it as your heritage in me. Today, the Father has instructed you to make a change in your behavior. Now that the enemy's stratagem has been broken, the oppression that your persecutor has been imposing on you has been lifted and removed from your life. Remain calm and recognize that I am online in your position to provide answers and solutions that go above the wisdom of man. When no one has any answers and nothing is working, you should realize that I am here to help. In a split second, deliverance comes down from on high. There is a dance in your step, and there is jubilation in your mouth. Your tears have been wiped away. Celebrate to your heart's content, for those who desired your life without a meaningful reason have been trampled underfoot and buried in the dust, never to be seen again. According to the Father, I am a righteous judge, and I am completely punctual. As I establish the just in the land of the living, the wickedness of those who are wicked is now brought to a stop. Using heat and pressure, I have put your heart through its paces and shaped you in the same way that I shape my diamonds. In order for you to shine brightly in the kingdom of your Father, the dross has been removed along with every imperfection that you possibly can. The rage, worry, and suffering that you are experiencing should be given to me. They have dug a hole and created a trap in order to capture you, but now their mischief is coming back to haunt them, and their violent dealings will come back to haunt them in their own life. Rely on me to determine the outcome. Make sure that you keep a close eye on your words and a watchful eye on your heart so that you never say anything that goes against my promise or worry in any way. I am with you. I am working, and I promise that you will not be let down in any way, says God. The Father has communicated to us today that I am not furious with you, nor am I punishing you in any way. The adversary whispers to you and tells you that I am withholding anything from you, but dear, everything that I could possibly offer to you was completely and thoroughly poured out in your life 2,000 years ago. Your frailty is something I am aware of, and I am responding with my mercy. As far as I am concerned, I am not some vengeful being perched on a remote mountainside, throwing lightning bolts of discontent upon the poor humans below. In a single instant, the earth and everything that humans have created would be obliterated if I were to ever become who they believe I am. I not only provide to you and bless you on a daily and moment-to-moment basis, but I also give life and breath to those who wave their fists in my face and to even those who are considered to be heathen. This is the embodiment of love. I am that person, and that is what I do on a consistent basis. On both the just and the unjust, I reign. In addition to the fact that I am not spiteful, I never play with you or put on you anything that the cross has made available for the removal of. Now, not somewhere in the future, I am your healer, your salvation, and your provision. I am with you right now. I am moving to drastically bless you during this season, and I invite you to enter into that reality and envelop yourself in its comfort by doing so. I have witnessed the sorrow that has engulfed you during the night, and I have heard the groaning that you have been making. You've asked me the same question over and over again, and I've listened to you, therefore I'd like you to start expressing gratitude to me for what? The paper check has been mailed out. My provision for every conceivable need that you might have is currently on its way to you, and it is being sent to you with a stamp from the postmaster of heaven. My promise is not proven by the fact that you have earned anything, but rather by the truth of the blood that was shed at Calvary. Please sanctify your conscience to the truth of the matter. The moment I lay eyes on the blood, I will feel content on your behalf. I am not searching for some sort of moral trait or some level of religious performance that is supposed to be required before I will continue in this direction in your life. Is there anything that your fasting can accomplish to move my hand beyond what the cross has provided? What is it that all of those self-imposed limitations and obligations may cause my hand to make available to you that the nails and the crown of thorns were unable to make possible? You are righteous because I am your righteousness, I declare to you. I move in your life not because of who you are or what you have done, but rather because of who I am and what I did for you on the cross 2 millennia ago. I move in your life because of who I am. Take comfort in that. Please allow that truth to work within you as you absorb the full saturation of my whole promise that I have made evident today to heal every lack that you are currently experiencing. There is a message from the Father that says, "My ear is bent low to the meditation of your heart." In your heart, I see the paved stones of your faith, and they sparkle brightly in my eyes, delighting my heart and moving my hand to act in your circumstance. I see these paved stones on the inside of you. Not only do I see you, but I also hear the sound of your cries. Those angels are making their way into your life in order to bring forth their works in accordance with my promise and in accordance with the words that you have spoken with trust. All those who come into contact with you or engage with you in any manner are witnessing the manifestation of the perfection of holiness that is occurring inside you and flowing out of you as a pure testimony of my nature and my goodness. This is the time for you to rejoice, because you have not placed your faith in things that are vain. As a result of the fact that you have placed your faith in me as a person in your life, you will not feel ashamed. The name of my God is your protection in this day and age, and my splendor is a fire that surrounds you and cannot be penetrated by the adversary. Your adversary would like for you to believe that you are encircled by a lot of issues. However, this is not the case. Rather, you are encircled by the plurality of my mercy surrounding you. With my mercies, you will be filled with joy throughout the entire day, regardless of what the adversary may threaten you with, for my unbreakable power will stand between you and all of his schemes and plans. Defy the temptation to let things of this world distract you. It is important that you keep your thoughts focused on the everlasting realities of my spirit, for the things that are visible are just temporary and are always subject to change by my hand on your behalf and for your advantage. You are immune to the lack of trust displayed by those who are wicked. It is impossible for the counsels of the ungodly to be successful before they even leave their mouths. They will fall into the pit that they have created for themselves as a result of the magnitude of their offenses. Nevertheless, I will uphold you and carry you through to a location that is provisional, stable, and safe even by my hand, says the Father. There is a statement from the Father that I am your righteousness. According to the Father, whenever I look at you, I see the Lamb that was sacrificed from the very beginning of the world. That is the beginning of every prayer that is answered and every blessing that comes into your life. I pass over you to guard you and bring you out of your captivity. When I glance at you, I see the blood on the doorpost of your heart, and I will bring you out of your confinement. It is not based on who you are or what you have done for me that I move in your life's trajectory. I make my presence known in your life on the basis of who I am and what I accomplished for you on the cross 2,000 years ago. You must come to the realization that the cross is sufficient when you come before me in prayer. Whether you choose to have your body burned or to make a religious sacrifice, neither of these actions will lead me to take any kind of action in your life. You are eligible for everything that heaven has to offer precisely because of what I have done and am doing in you. There is no other reason for this qualification. Says the Father, I want you to acknowledge your position before me today. Take into account the fact that the work of Calvary has been completed. Forget about any and all attempts made by humans to attract my attention, and simply be aware that I have made you the focus of my attention. In your time of need, I will have mercy on you because I am aware of your anguish. The thing that I am bringing about is something that you should come before me with anticipation and wait patiently for. Have a conversation with your own heart when you are lying in bed, and tell your busy little mind, be still and know. There are people in your immediate environment who are filled with pessimism, but that is not your own share. One of the final lines of defense for the carnal mind is sarcasm. Cynicism and sarcasm should be replaced with joy in your heart and the light of my countenance. Let both of these things be replaced. At this moment, it is time for you to rejoice. Both your corn and your wine have been upped. Enter into my serenity, even the peacefulness of one whose warfare has been done away with in the cross. Then you will lie down in quiet and sleep the sleep of a child, safe in my arms. What the Father has to say about you today is that I am your defense against every attack from hell. The adversary may strengthen his position against you and even employ people who are closest to you in order to cause you harm. However, I am here, and there is no need to be concerned about this. When I look at you or your position, I do not see you through the perspective of those who are certain that you are merely receiving what you deserve, while others see you through that lens. The adversary is gathering forces against you in a variety of ways, but all they are doing is putting a target on their back so that my arrows can find them and eliminate them from the distance. I am your shield and defense. It is I who provides for you. Despite the fact that you could not find a single individual who were willing to stand by your side, I am here, and I will never abandon you. My salvation is in God, you should say to your soul. What I am about to undertake is something that no one will be able to provide credit for. Those who are looking at you with the intention of watching you fall will feel ashamed and turn their backs on you when they witness my blessing and my favor heaped upon you in a moment. This is because I am the God who is able to do anything I want at any time I want, and I do not need to consult anybody before I do it. I want to encourage you to not freak out on this particular day. All other fears are unclean, but the fear of the Lord is the only one that is pure. Refuse to give the adversary the opportunity to pollute your mind with any form of fear or concern that you might be experiencing. I am present in your life at this moment. There is a camp of angels all around you here. The answers that you are looking for are already appearing, and you will not be prevented from obtaining them. In this day and era, the Father says, "Let the heathens rage, because I have concealed you within my pavilion." My counsels are disregarded by the monarchs of the earth and the rulers of humanity, and they plunge headfirst into darkness. However, this is not supposed to be your lot in life. Nations disobey my commandments and walk away from my wisdom, but in the middle of their darkness, I will be a light to your path, leading you to the spot where you can find peace and satisfaction. Know this, says God, peace is not the absence of strife. Rather, peace is the fruit of my Spirit working in you with the purpose of protecting you from the hostility of minds that are not devoted to God. I have established borders for the sons of men and stated, "This far and no further." They have set their sights on the material wealth of iniquity, but my word in the earth is that there will be enough of that. I have established bounds for the sea and said, "Go no further." Don't be concerned when you witness those who have committed wrongdoing experiencing the repercussions of their conduct. Despite the fact that hell was not purposefully designed for them, it is nonetheless their portion. As a human, it is your duty to be a source of both light and salt until the arrival of Shiloh, which will bring with it my hand of deliverance to influence your personal life and bring about changes that are not currently present. It is important to keep in mind that the one who sits in the heavens will laugh, and that I have placed you in glorious seats through Christ. If you are not laughing, then you are not living up to the privileges that you have. I want you to know that I have placed you on my sacred hill of Zion, and that I will protect and guard you there until all of these problems are resolved. You should not be disheartened by the arrogance of those who are not believing in God, for in their defiance, they are just identifying themselves as the heathens that I offer you as your heritage. To you, I have given the furthest portions of the earth for your inheritance, and your righteousness will always originate in me. However, they will be broken at the wheel and left parched at the cistern that they have made for themselves.